Happy Monday. Well, we're going to have some fun tomorrow night, aren't we? That city council is going to be just a hopping place. You got your Sept. Yeah, that's what they call CDIP now, Sept. You got your sanctuary city that's not really a sanctuary city, but really is a sanctuary city. You're going to act on that too. But the one I want to talk about is you got your Claudia's Law. I should warn you that my mother's name was Claudia, and this law is not something she would like. Here's what it is. We're going to have 4 pages worth of protections for hotel workers. Now, that sounds like motherhood and apple pie to me, right? We want to protect our hotel workers, and housekeepers shouldn't have to be afraid to walk into a room. Agree with that, no problem. But you keep on going with these protections. And then the next thing is, we're going to tell all the hotels just how much work a hotel worker can do. Say what? Yeah, I know. It's really not the way that we usually do things around here, is it? But if this ordinance passes, hotel workers can't clean more than 40,000 square feet in an 8-hour day. I got no clue whether that's a lot or a little. But the point is, they're telling the hotels what they can ask their employees to do. Next step. Then there's this little clause that says, oh, you don't have to do any of this if you've got a union agreement. That's right, a union agreement. You know who that union is? They're called Unite Here Local 11. They're the folks that have been banging on pans and bellowing out of bullhorns for at least 2 years on Ocean Boulevard. They're the folks that brought up measure, I think it was N or M or one of those letters, that said you have to pay hotel workers at least this much unless you unionize. Now imagine that, unless you unionize. So where do you think this thing's really coming from? I'll guarantee you, comes Tuesday night at City Hall, you're going to see people come marching down there, usually with an interpreter next to them, and talk about how scared they are to work, and how hard they work, and how little they get paid. And your heart's going to melt. And you're going to say, how could we be allowing the hotels to do this? Well, take it with, yes, a pinch of salt. Because there are many more other people who are just happy to have a job. Now, I can tell you right now that it's probably going to pass. I can count to 5 just as well as any of the council members can. And 4 out of the 9 have already put their name on this thing. I think I know at least one other person who's going to vote for it. I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's another step towards, socialism. How can we stop this whole idea of telling people what they can do if they're trying to run a business? Well, I'm going to hear about it. I'm going to have people say, well, if you don't like it, go move to a state that doesn't do that. Well, okay, if that's what you want, if that's the kind of California you want, but I think you ought to think about it. Thanks.